On behalf of NTU Singapore and AICTE Ministry of Education, I'd like to welcome all of you for the Singapore India Hackathon Launch 2023. We are delighted that so many of you could make the time to be here today. I'd like to request Professor Lam Kin Yong, Vice President Industry for NTU Singapore and the co-chair of Singapore India Hackathon 2023, to please come on stage and give his welcome remarks.
Minister Shri Dharmendra Pradhan, Indian Minister of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Minister Gan Kim Yong, Singapore Minister for Trade and Industry, Mr. Simon Wong, High Commissioner of Singapore to the Republic of India, AICTE MOE Vice Chairman, Dr. Abhay Jere, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning and a very warm welcome to you and all the distinguished guests gathered here today for the launch of the Singapore India Hackathon 2023. This hackathon will be the third edition, following the first Singapore India Hackathon way back in 2018 and the second in 2019. The first Singapore India Hackathon was initiated in 2018 by the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, on an official visit to Singapore, with the goal to harness and showcase the innovation potential of the youth of both countries. The recommendation was met with strong support from our Singapore Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, and NTU had the honor to conduct the hackathon together with our counterparts in India, the Ministry of Education, All India Council for Technical Education, AICTE in short. The first hackathon was met with overwhelming success, with a total of 120 students from both India and Singapore participating in the event. Following its positive reception, we co-organized another hackathon in Chennai in 2019 at IIT Madras, which was also very well received. This year's hackathon is also very special. It is held as part of India's G20 presidency with a focus on fintech and sustainability. These two topics are essentially relevant in this age and day where we are moving towards Industry 4.0 and also entering Industry 5.0. As such, the format for this year's hackathon is also slightly different from the past two events. Unlike the previous two hackathons, which were more focused on students, this year participants will also have representation from the startup. The reason for this is because we recognize the importance of not just the student talent pipeline, but also the startup and SMEs to the research, development, and innovation ecosystem of both India and Singapore. As one of the world-leading research-intensive universities, NTU Singapore has learned from experience that there's always a value add when industry partners are involved. For the first time since the hackathon was initiated, we see this triple helix private-public arrangement where industry partner, university, public agencies, and ministries all work together to contribute to and participate in mentoring the student and startup leading up to the final hackathon in August. This triple helix partnership is a unique model that NTU has championed. It has been very successful as it brings together the university, public agency, and industry partners to work together from day one to drive basic research into translational commercial outcomes. This recurring theme will also be observed throughout the hackathon itself, where students and startups will have to address fintech and sustainability problem statement through the perspective of university, industry, and public agencies. Our collaborators such as AICTE, Confederation of Indian Industry, MAS, Enterprise Singapore, SG Innovate, and others will provide problem statement and mentorship to the participating students and startups leading up to the final hackathon in August and beyond to ensure their growth and success. I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank them and express my deepest gratitude to both the honorable ministers from India and Singapore present here today for their strong support and for making the time to launch the Singapore India Hackathon 2023. Their participation will ensure this hackathon's success. I'm very confident that we will get strong participation from India and Singapore for SIH 2023, and I look forward to seeing all of you and welcoming you in Gandhinagar, Gujarat in August. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Lam. May I now invite Minister Gan and Minister Pradhan to please come on stage with the Singapore High Commissioner and light the lamp to launch the hackathon. I'd also like to invite our other guests who are the attendees on stage to please join them on stage. May I have the Principal Scientific Advisor please also join us on stage? Sir, please come on stage. Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone. May I request you to please take your seats? May I please request Minister Pradhan to please come on stage and give his keynote address. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, friends. Excellency Mr. Gan Kim Yong, Honorable Minister of Trade and Industry, Government of Singapore, Mr. Simon Wong, Honorable High Commissioner of Singapore to India, Dr. Ajay Kumar Sood, Principal Scientific Advisor of Government of India, Professor Lam Kin Yong, Vice President, NTU, Mr. Anil Sahasrabuddhe, the Chief of our Technical Initiative of Ministry of Education, my dear friend, younger brother, Mr. Swapnendu Mahanti, Chief FinTech Officer, Monetary Authority of Singapore, Dr. Abhay Jere, Vice Chairman AICT, distinguished guests and friends from the media. First of all, I congratulate both NTU and AICT for their continuous effort to fulfill the decision of visionary leadership of both our Prime Minister. In a way, this is the 6th year and 3rd edition of Singapore-India Hackathon. In the beginning, if I cite two statistics from Indian side, in the age group of 15 to 25, there are 250 million youngsters are there in India. If I mention the number of working force in India, the number is 500 million. And today, India is the number 5th economy in the globe. Looking into India's aspiration, India's journey, India's scientific aptitude, and friends like Singapore, trusted allies like Singapore, we are confident India will be very soon the global hotspot of so many things in the entire human civilization in the 21st century. With this background, what additional thing this hackathon will do for us? Why both the leader has envisioned this model, and what is the theme of this year? Fintech and sustainability. These are the two most concerned topic of the and emerging topic of the 21st century. India is already a major power in the digital world. In its process, in its innovation, in its implementation in domestic market, to replicate in the other part of the globe, India is a natural leader. Friends, we have to develop 3C formula. Capacity to implement a grand vision, a grand responsibility. So many parts of the globe has a numerical capacity, but capability is also important. India is a thinking society, and with partner like Singapore, our vision and capability front will be multifold. We need capital on all these areas. Financial capital, technology capital, knowledge capital, and Singapore is a global model today. This hackathon, we have our experience of 18 and 19. Due to pandemic, we could not organize the subsequent 3 years, 2021, 21 and 22, we could not organize. With 2 years experience with pandemic's challenge, when we are talking to Excellency Yong just before this formal meeting, we are exchanging idea in future in which area we can work together. In Singapore model, both Education Ministry and Trade and Industry Ministry are working together. In India, it's a nice coincidence. I am in charge of education and skill development entrepreneurship. And India, Prime Minister Modi has a vision. India should be the hub of the skill manpower of the entire globe. Friends, when I'm talking about this collaboration and looking towards a global market, I am aware about my role. When India is in charge of G20 and Singapore is a precious member of this G20 platform, the theme of this year's G20 is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Entire earth is one, entire whole of aspiration is one. One earth, one aspiration, and one responsibility. India has organized a Global South Summit prior to this G20 conclave, the sideline of the G20 conclave. We took responsibility of the Global South. Prime Minister Modi appealed to them. You may not be the member of the G20, but country like India or Singapore are your custodian of interest. We will take your responsibility. Express your aspiration, put forth your challenge in front of us. will try to global leadership to look into the shared aspiration of the entire mankind. Friends, kind of youngsters are here in India. Demographic dividend is our strength. Financial capacity and technological advancement is the capacity of Singapore. When we'll come both together, this year's hackathon, we have decided, we have resolved with Excellency Gyanong will not stop here after this event. NTU and AICT will be assigned personally at India. I will personally monitor and will sure my colleague will monitor at their end how the successful model will be monetized, how they will convert to a startups, how they will create value, how they will create job, how they will solve the crisis, the problem paper. I am happy, I am confident when we will be meeting in the month of August in Gujarat, we will have a substantive outcome in our hands. And we must have a clarity how we will make it an institution. And it will be a continuous effort. I wish all the best for this hackathon, participant of this hackathon, and NTU and AICT and other academia. I can see we all will come together to fulfill the responsibility which Prime Minister Modi has envisioned in the name of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Entire humanity is one family. We have a one aspiration, we have one responsibility. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, Minister Pradhan, for your very insightful and inspiring remarks. May I now invite Minister Gan Kim Yong, Honorable Minister for Trade and Industry for the Government of Singapore, to give his keynote address.
Minister of Education, Skills Development and Entrepreneurship, Sri Dharmendra Pradhan, Excellencies, business leaders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to all of you. I'm very happy to join you this morning at the launch of the Singapore-India Hackathon 2023. This hackathon is part of Singapore's and India's cooperation in skills development, especially for our youths. I can see how eager everyone is to get started with the hackathon, so I promise you that I'll keep my speech short. Skills development is a key area of cooperation between India and Singapore. India, through programs such as Skills India, is capitalizing on its demographic dividend. Like India, Singapore also invests heavily in adult learning and upskilling. And by working together, we enable our people to have more opportunities to learn from one another's ways of thinking and doing. And this helps them to sharpen their skills, improve their competencies, and secure better jobs. For example, the Singapore-India Partnership Office of my ministry brought together the Confederation of Indian Industries Institute of Logistics and the Singapore Logistics Association to co-develop and deliver 2 international joint certification courses. These courses were delivered virtually during the COVID-19 pandemic for 75 logistics and supply chain professionals in India. They learned about advanced concepts and technologies in supply chain and warehouse management, including virtual site visits. The outcomes were so positive that the partners decided to offer more runs of the course. I look forward to working with my partner, His Excellency Dharmendraji, to encourage our educational institutions and business associations to develop skilling programs and that will enable our people to keep pace with the demand for increasingly complex skills and future-proof their employability. Startups play a critical role in driving innovation in our economies. India already has the 3rd largest number of unicorns in the world. What's amazing is that more than half reached that size in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic. Perhaps one or more of today's participating startups will one day also join the rank, if not already one of them. I just want to mention one such unicorn, and that is Glance. Founded in 2019, Glance is a lock screen platform which provides personalized content directly to users through their mobile lock screens. And in doing so, the company has revolutionized the way content creators and advertisers engage their users. And today, more than 225 million consumers worldwide use Glance, and the company recently set up a new headquarters in Singapore to capture the growing user base in Southeast Asia. There are also Singapore companies here today whose solutions are creating new waves in emerging industries. For example, vFlow Tech is pioneering new solutions in the battery sector to unlock the full potential of renewable power generation. Through the use of their innovative vanadium Rhodox flow technology, vFlow Tech has created efficient, portable, modular, and scalable energy storage solutions. I understand that Singapore and Indian startups will be going head-to-head in this year's hackathon as they pit their solutions against each other. But it is not about beating your competitor that matters, but coming up with the best solutions to make our world better for everyone. There are no losers in such competitions, and I hope all of us will learn from the experience and become even better. Finally, for our students, you are our future. I'm especially glad that each group will be formed from 3 students from India and 3 from Singapore. Do seize this opportunity to learn from one another new ways of seeing and doing that stem from our diverse cultures, traditions, and social experiences. But the biggest prize of all will be the friendships that start today. Friends encourage us to dream higher, bigger, and push us to reach higher goals. And I hope that your friendships will endure beyond today's hackathon. Together, you can change our world for the better for all of us. To conclude, let me thank His Excellency Dharmendra Ji and India's Ministry of Education and Nanyang Technology University for organizing this hackathon. I look forward to the solutions that will be presented in August at the finals of the hackathon as our response to India's clarion call for us to be one world, one family, and one future. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Gan, for laying out the framework for strengthening of the Singapore-India partnerships through the Singapore-India Hackathon and the competition and collaboration between startups and students in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. Now may I invite Professor Ajay Sood, the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India, to give his brief remarks.
Honorable Minister Shri Dharmendra Pradhan Ji, Honorable Minister Shri Yang, and other dignitaries in the hall, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to be here this morning, which is the launch of India-Singapore Hackathon 2023. The hackathon, as envisaged by our leaderships, provides an opportunity for both countries to deepen their partnership and build a better future by fostering innovation and collaboration. The tangible outcomes of the hackathon include technical outcomes such as new prototypes, product features, and bug fixes, which can have significant impact on the fintech and sustainable development sectors. These outcomes will drive new products and services, improving financial inclusion and sustainable development in both our countries. Non-technical artifacts such as visualization, new or improved documentation and publication will also have a significant impact on all the outcomes which this hackathon will bring. These outcomes will help in promoting awareness and understanding of the importance of deep tech startups and sustainable development, leading to increased investment and support. The intangible outcomes of the hackathon are equally important, as they can contribute to the development of human capital, entrepreneurship, networking, and friendship. Participants can learn new technologies and acquire industry and university skills which can be applied to the S&T sector, including fintech and sustainable development sectors, leading to development of new solutions and ideas. The hackathon can also foster existing enterprises, leading to the creation of new jobs and economic growth. Finally, networking can create opportunities for collaboration, leading to the development of new ideas and solutions. There has been continuous and mutually beneficial cooperation between our two countries over the last 20 years or so. India and Singapore have been collaborating, as I noted, in various areas including technology, innovation, fintech, and startups, such as Global Stack and Business Sense Border platform. Another cooperation between the two countries is the entrepreneurship bridge called Inspreneur, a startup engagement platform which aims to connect startups and entrepreneurs both countries, providing them access to funding, mentorship, and networking opportunities. The network also, the platform also provides a beautiful platform for knowledge exchange and capacity building in the area of entrepreneurship and innovation. I am happy to learn that in renewable energy, Singapore-based Sembcorp industry has commissioned its wind power projects awarded in the first three sectors. Another area which is of great interest to India, and we launched the green hydrogen mission on 4th January by our Honorable Prime Minister, is very important for both countries to come together. In closing remarks, collaborating in S&T sector, fintech, and sustainable development between India and Singapore can address pressing challenges related to financial inclusion, sustainable economic growth, and development. The hackathon, such as today's launch, presents an opportunity for India and Singapore to collaborate in fintech and sustainable development, leading to tangible and intangible outcomes which will have significant impact on economic growth, development, and human capital. If I may suggest, taking what our Honorable Minister said, the next hackathon which I will think, which is really in its making, the area could be the quantum frontiers. All the countries in the world are focusing on it. India is about to launch a quantum mission, and hackathon on that will take both the countries much forward, which I hope you will consider as we go along. So I wish all the very best in the ongoing hackathon and really look forward to more engaging interactions between our two countries. Thank you very much for having me here this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Sood. We know how important science and technology is for the Singapore-India partnership. It is in fact quite the bedrock. May I now invite our guests of honor on stage to do a final official photo-taking session, please. Minister Pradhan, Minister Gan, High Commissioner Simon Wong, Professor Abhay Jere, would you please come on stage? Mr. Supnendu Mohanty, Professor K.Y. Lam, Professor Tim White, David Toe, and Professor Chaudhary. Thank you. Thank you very much. Professor Tim White, would you like to give a vote of thanks and we can bring the ceremony to a close?
Hello everyone, and thank you so much for attending this launch of the hackathon today. We very much appreciate it, and I just want to add one small matter that a lot have been said about how the hackathon is going to enable greater collaboration and innovation between India and Singapore. And there's one group I explicitly want to mention in this closing statement are the NTU alumni who are sitting here today. And the NTU alumni are a great manifestation of the partnership between India and Singapore. And of course, we hope that out of the hackathon, there will be far more alumni that will understand each country well and that will help build businesses and partnership between us. So with that, I look forward to seeing many of you at the hackathon proper in August, and it will be a great opportunity to see what the outcomes of the hackathon have been. Thank you very much. And I'm told, most important thing, there is a tea break at 11 o'clock. Please avail yourself of that. Thank you.